What is up, Survivor Thrivers? Authentically me, Regina B, is back with another video. How are you? I hope you've been well. I hope you've been in good health. We are already to the month of June. Today is June 5th, Thursday, June 5th. And I have some space. I have some grace. I have some time to get back into our somatic therapy workbook. Look, y'all, I bought me a little nifty microphone. So we're going to see how this goes, but we're going to jump right into our somatic therapy workbook. We are nearing the end, and it has been quite the journey. I have used some of these ideas. A lot of these ideas go hand in hand with yoga, with Pilates, and one of my level 1 registrations for yoga was through Yoga Fit, and they actually have a somatic yoga course. So I may take that, but I feel like taking this information with me and applying it into my yoga practice already is good enough so that I don't have to pay any more money. But we are on page 61. I may have lost our spot, but we're on page 61. And it says, recognizing how trauma leaves the body using sequencing tools. When we experience trauma, our bodies tend to carry the physical and emotional memory of the event long after it has happened. While there are various therapeutic approaches to addressing trauma, sequencing tools have been found to be particularly helpful in recognizing how trauma leaves our bodies. Sequencing tools typically involve a series of physical movements that help us tune into our bodies by becoming more aware of our sensations and emotions and learning to identify the patterns of tension and release that are connected to past trauma. Yoga is one of the most popular sequencing tools, and the best part about it is there are so many platforms like YouTube and Pocket Yoga that give you the freedom to practice anytime, anywhere. It has numerous benefits for our mental health, including the ability to alleviate some of our anxiety systems. And perhaps more importantly, it has the ability to help us reconnect with and become more aware of our bodies and the discomfort that sometimes lives within us. This is crazy because I didn't plan to talk about yoga before jumping into this. And as we jump right into recognizing how trauma leaves the body through sequencing tools, it lists yoga. Okay, so it says another sequencing tool is TRE, also known as tension and trauma releasing exercises, which is a body-based approach to releasing tension and trauma. It involves a series of simple exercises that help activate the body's natural tremoring mechanism. You might be wondering what's trembling. Well, it's actually a natural reflex that animals use to discharge stress and tension from their bodies. Think of a dog shaking itself vigorously after a scary encounter. That's tremoring in action. Okay. So when we experience stress or trauma, our bodies often hold on to that energy, causing tension and discomfort. TRE aims to help us release this stored energy by introducing tremors in a controlled and safe way. By engaging in specific exercises and positions, we can activate these tremors and allow the body to release the built up tension. Tremors may sound a bit intimidating, but they're actually quite gentle and can be quite pleasant. It's like a gentle vibration or shaking that starts from within and gradually spreads throughout your body. During this process, you're invited to pay attention to your body's sensations, allowing the tremors to flow and release any tension or trauma that might be stored. It's a self-empowering practice that encourages us to listen to our body's wisdom and release what no longer serves us. It's important to exercise caution and mindfulness when considering whether to perform TRE independently. While these exercises can offer numerous benefits for physical and mental well-being, there are certain circumstances in which it may be advisable to seek guidance from a specialist. I agree with that. Along my journey, I have used therapy workbooks. I have also gone to therapists before, but it wasn't until I found the therapist that was right for me and for my situation that I was able to really start practicing these mindful tools and really start working through my trauma. So definitely agree with that. If you have any pre-existing medical condition, injuries, or physical limitations, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional before attempting these exercises on your own. Additionally, if you have a history of trauma or mental health concerns, it's recommended to work with a certified TRE provider or mental health professional who can provide personalized guidance and support throughout the process. They can help ensure that the exercises are performed safely and effectively, and they can offer additional resources and techniques tailored to your individual needs. Let's have a look at a practical tension trauma releasing exercise that you can try. So let's go through this. Like she's recommending, she said it twice now, that she recommends consulting your healthcare provider if you've had any medical injuries, if you have any medical conditions, if you have any physical limitations. And she also says she recommends that you find a certified TRE provider or mental health professional. So let's get into these practical exercises. So one, find a sturdy wall and position yourself against it, allowing your back to gently lean while bending your knees slightly. Ensure your feet are hip width apart and maintain visibility of your toes. Engage your muscles to support your body in this wall sit position. Aim for a moderate difficulty level, about a 5 on a scale of 0 to 10, adjusting your squat depth as necessary. So a wall squat. Sustain this posture for 3 to 5 minutes, making minor adjustments to stay comfortable. Be receptive to any trembling or shaking sensations that may arise during the wall sit. These natural responses are a common part of the process. If discomfort arises, briefly step away from the wall and return when ready. Conclude the wall sit, I'm going to say wall squat, by gently pushing off the wall to return to a standing position, allowing your body to realign and adjust. 6, move into a forward fold position, either hanging forward or placing your fingers on the floor. Relax your neck, embrace any shaking that may occur in this position. Hold this position for 1 minute. Gradually return to a standing position by placing your hands on your legs and lifting from your hips, maintaining a smooth and controlled movement. Sounds like a wall squat and then sounds like a forward fold is what we would call it in yoga. Trauma can be complex and nuanced, so we should always remember that it's important to address it with care and compassion. Addressing it with the appropriate resources and help can help us heal and move forward. An approach that works for someone else may not necessarily be the same thing that works for you. Ask for help along the way, as it's certainly something that you don't have to navigate all on your own. Remember that your well-being is paramount, and seeking professional guidance can help you maximize the benefits of these exercises while minimizing the risk of injury or discomfort. In my other book, the Somatic Therapy Workbook, you can find more exercises to relieve stress and trauma, including TRE exercises where you lie down. In the next chapter, we will explore the different approaches that we can take when navigating trauma, from anxiety, PTSD, addiction, and coping mechanisms. So take a breath, and when you're ready, drive right in. So chapter 4, somatic therapy for specific challenges. And then the quote says, trauma creates changes you don't choose. Healing is about creating change that you do choose. So that's chapter 4. We're going to stop right there. Page 65 is where we're landing at. I like all of these recommendations. I also like how everything is coming full circle for me. So there was a time when I did practice yoga years and years ago when my son was 3 or 4. And then I stopped because I made myself feel guilty, because I think I saw something where someone was saying how it was wrong to practice yoga if you're a Christian. And then I got back into running as I started on my healing journey through my trauma. And through a groin injury, I started to incorporate yoga back into my life. And it has been so enriching. Full circle, I'm a yoga instructor now. However, What works for me, like she said at the end of chapter 3, what works for me may not necessarily work for you. I like to share my journey and the things that I've adapted and changed and started doing as an example of your journey doesn't have to look like mine, but the healing is possible if you find the way that works for you. And I know that I found that way that works for me through prayer first. Everything that was after that was just a result of me asking for God to help me to heal from this trauma, help me to be a better Christian, help me to be a better wife, help me to be a better mother. And this is what I want my life to look like. Help me with that butterfly feeling in my stomach. Help me be able to trust you more so that I can trust myself more. So when I say that yoga has helped me, it truly has. And she called it TRE, but a lot of it is pulling from yoga, and yoga is ancient. I believe in one true God. I also believe that when yoga was created, that one true God, who has another name, which is called the existent one, was there. And I don't feel like anything that gives you the power to not only express your faith, but to also maybe heal some wounds, because the wounds that we cannot see are the hardest wounds to heal. And so yoga does help heal those wounds. Sometimes when we release all that tension, maybe in our hips, maybe in our low back, maybe in our neck, we are releasing trauma that we have held onto in certain areas of our body. And through the breath, we are able to restore. And I like to think of it as when you open up and you say, Lord, I want to heal, and you ask him that. I may not pronounce it right, but I think of that kintsugi bowl. It's a bowl. I believe it's popular in the Japanese culture. But they don't believe that you just throw things away that are broken. Right? And so let's say they've dropped a bowl. These bowls are very beautiful. They fuse them back together with little specks of gold going all throughout. And it's a beautiful bowl. I wanted one, but it makes no sense to buy one right now with my kids being so young. But I like to think of myself as that bowl. And I like to think of that gold is the Lord feeling me in those broken places, refining me in those broken places. And it wasn't until I married my faith and my fitness, faith and movement, that all of these different things along the journey started unfolding for me. And I started becoming the woman that I am meant to be. And so if yoga doesn't work for you, maybe try TRE. Like I said, I read it and it sounds like a wall squat to me. And I get it because squats are intense. Squats can immediately fire up your quads or your glutes or hamstring, depending on your foot placement. And it can take you right out of whatever emotion or whatever thought process you were in. A forward fold is a great way to release stress and tension, as well as low back relief. So maybe somatic therapy is not for you. Maybe it is. Maybe cognitive behavioral therapy. But all of these things are saying the same thing, which is you have the power. My belly's gurgling. You have the power to heal from within. You just have to step out on faith and trust your instinct and take charge of your thoughts meaning just being aware of what you're thinking about. Are you landing in the past? Are you rushing to the future? Can you come back to your present moment? So I really enjoy this. Look, she's in simple cross leg. So yeah, I hope that just me sharing this with you lets you know that there is healing. Healing is possible. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you, and you will find your way. Whatever your way is, whatever your path is, you will find it if you just ask God, and then if you notice God noticing you. So thank you so much for rocking with the channel. I'm going to be teaching Pilates later today. Also along this journey, I feel like this may sound weird, or if you get it, you get it. On this journey, I feel like I look like who I'm supposed to be. And it's really fun. Like, even, I'm all the way to a 00 on my ear gauge. I started the process years and years ago, and then I stopped. Probably let others' opinions get into my head, but I started it back up. My locks, I used to be permed roller set lady. I had to have my hair straight, and now I'm rocking these locks, but I really feel like I'm becoming exactly who God wants me to be. And I hope the same for you. And that is the purpose of my channel. So it was rainy. Now it is so sunny outside. No matter what the weather is where you are, make sure you find an opportunity to get out there and get after whatever your get after is. If you are able to get after it, I love you. God loves you so much more. I begin to